What if the U.S. started World War III? If the United States were to start World War III, the consequences would be catastrophic on a global scale. The U.S. is one of the most powerful military nations in the world, with nuclear capabilities, advanced technology, and strong alliances. However, a war of this magnitude would likely involve multiple world powers, leading to devastating economic, political, and humanitarian crises. Potential causes of World War III by the U.S. Conflict with a major power. Rising tensions with nations like China or Russia over Taiwan, Ukraine, or the Arctic could escalate into a full-scale war. If diplomatic efforts fail, an armed conflict between the U.S. and another nuclear power could trigger a global war. Military intervention gone wrong. If the U.S. launches a military operation in a politically sensitive region, such as the Middle East or the South China Sea, it could provoke retaliatory action from other countries. Cyber warfare escalation. In an age where cyber attacks can cripple infrastructure, a large-scale cyber war between the U.S. and another nation could spiral out of control, leading to military responses. Economic sanctions leading to war. Sanctions on powerful countries like China, Russia, or Iran could push them to take military action against the U.S. or its allies. Accidental nuclear launch or misunderstanding. A miscalculation in nuclear deterrence or an accidental missile launch could trigger a global war, especially if nations respond before verifying the situation. Immediate consequences. Massive military engagements. The war would likely begin with airstrikes, cyber attacks, and naval battles, followed by ground invasions. Countries allied with the U.S., such as NATO members, and those opposing it, such as Russia, China, or Iran, would be forced to take sides. Nuclear threats and attacks. Given the presence of nuclear weapons, the risk of a full-scale nuclear war would be extremely high. If nuclear bombs were used, entire cities could be wiped out, leading to millions of casualties. Economic collapse. The global economy would suffer immediate shocks. Stock markets would crash, supply chains would break down, and inflation would skyrocket. The US dollar, being a key reserve currency, would likely lose its stability. Mass migration and humanitarian crises. Civilians in affected regions would flee, leading to an unprecedented refugee crisis. Access to food, water, and medical care would become difficult, and famine could spread. Cyber and space warfare. Nations would likely target each other's satellites, disrupting global communications, GPS, and military operations. Cyber attacks on power grids, financial systems, and essential infrastructure would create chaos. Long-term effects. Environmental destruction. A nuclear war could cause a nuclear winter, blocking sunlight, lowering global temperatures, and leading to widespread crop failure. Radiation could make entire regions uninhabitable. Collapse of governments. Many nations, including the U.S., could experience political upheaval. Martial law, coups, and power struggles might emerge in the chaos. A new world order. If the U.S. were to lose, global power dynamics would shift dramatically. China or another nation could emerge as the dominant world power. If the U.S. were victorious, it would likely enforce strict global policies, leading to resistance from other nations. Technological regression or advancement. Depending on the scale of destruction, the war could either set back human progress by decades or push technological advancements in warfare, medicine, and artificial intelligence. Is there any way to prevent it? While tensions exist between world powers, diplomacy, trade, and international organizations like the UN and NATO work to prevent a large-scale war. The doctrine of mutually assured destruction, MAD, discourages nuclear war, as no country could win without suffering catastrophic losses. However, rising nationalism, economic struggles, and emerging conflicts make the possibility of war a serious concern.